What's going on? We've got a return customer, a return homie on the pod tonight. Welcome, the Zach Stuff. How's it going, dude? You just drove back from Big Reds, right?
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for having me on again, man. Yeah, I did a little driving, wanted to meet up with our buddy Big Red.
Nice.
And so we selected a location, and it's about a 2.5 hour drive one way for me.
Wow.
And so we picked a location that was open, that we could actually walk around. And so we picked the Cabela's store, and yeah, it was fun. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Cheers to you, by the way, my friend.
Yeah, cheers indeed, man. All I'm drinking is water out of this tonight.
You just drove back. What time is it over where you're at right now?
Where I'm at here, we're looking at a little after 7 p.m.
All right. So you guys were just hanging out, or were you doing some content stuff? Were you like showing knives to each other? What were you doing?
Yeah, we had a few things, we did a little swapping.
Yeah.
With knives that we each had, and kind of did a little trade-off, like, hey, here's a knife, you want to, as we all do, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see each other, we're like, hey man, try, saves on shipping.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of cool. He actually he brought two really incredible knives that I've only had a chance to open, and these are out of his collection, but one is that Finch Holiday.
Oh yeah.
With the ox bone. Oh my, nice. I'm like, literally just took it out like 5 minutes ago, and it's like crazy smooth and awesome. So
cool.
I'm excited to check that one out.
Yeah, and I like it.
Then he these are on loan, of course, because that one's sold out. And then this one's a Cimarron.
Oh yeah. With the blue and green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting color combination on that.
Yeah, it's you either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
It's not an in between, like, oh, it's black with accent colors or something. It's like,
yeah,
you either like it or don't. And I think he said he's got some interesting comments on his review on it. And so it's it's kind of floating that line, but it's super smooth action.
Yeah, with Finch knives, I just like how they do their own thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you kind of know when you see one, you're like, that's got to be a Finch,
Mm-hmm.
They always do these kind of like cool color combinations. That one I'm really interested in, because the last one I got to try was the Tycoona, I think.
Oh yeah, I checked that one out.
I got to try out the what's the first one that they did? The really tiny one?
Oh, was it the Runtley?
The Runtley, yes, I got to try out the Runtley too. My only thing was like, man, these are so expensive for the materials, but at the same time, the knives are well built and they're kind of cool, because they're kind of their own category, I feel.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people were, I guess, saying in his comments.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I mean, a knife not, this is the one that was getting all the comments. This one's golden, by the way.
That's dope, dude. I mean, I am interested in that, man. That is cool.
I'll tell you what, if this was available right now, I'd buy it.
They're sold out?
I think they're sold out right now.
Dang.
But it's 154 cm, oxbone, scales. Not sure. I'm guessing this is a stainless.
Yep. Yeah, they usually do stainless.
Super smooth flipper.
Cool, dude.
So I would buy that one right now. But this is the one where, kind of what you're saying, steel wise, you have 14C28N.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doesn't show up too well, but that was the thing, like G10, liner lock, steel.
Yep.
And I think it's in that, $90, $100 range.
Yeah, that's usually what they play around at. But the thing again is like the knives that I've tried are well built. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of odd, because normally when you get into a price range like that, you start looking at the options around that price category.
Sure.
And they kind of like fall short in a way, but at the same time, now that I've held two of them, I'm like, oh, they got their own thing going on. Like this feels different than the other knives at $100. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I do like what they're doing. I definitely, you know, I do like Finch. I like what they're doing, you know?
Yeah, I was excited. I like the Tycoona. And like I said, I have to say that this holiday, just in the last 5 minutes, opening it up and firing it out a few times I already got my attention. So
what are the two Benchmades you got there, man? You're showcasing some.
You know me, man. I love my 940, my 940 Osbornes. You know.
Nice.
So a couple of ones.
What's the deal with the first one that you showed? The blue one. Like anything special about that?
So they did this one. It was a limited edition, but basically this was a dealer exclusive kind of thing where if you're a Benchmade dealer and you placed a, you know, qualifying order, they sent one of these with your order.
Wow.
And the dealer could choose to either sell it for retail, or, you know, obviously keep it as an incentive purchase. So a lot of them sold it because, you know, most of the dealers aren't collectors, you know, that I've found.
And then you that's yours, like you just got one. They were like, here, Zach.
Oh man, I wish. No, I tracked this one down, man, like everybody else. I'm like searching dealers that, you know, got these. And I have to say, honestly, I was looking, you know, my thing on some of these is I love to carry one, but I'd love to also put one in my collection that's just brand new.
Yeah.
You know, to keep in my collection. And so I try to get two, one to carry, one to put in my collection. And, you know, luckily it took a few months, but somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, I have an extra one. And they sold it to me at retail price plus shipping. So it was pretty fair.
Nice. What about the other one? Is that JG10 or?
Yeah, JG10 with M4 steel.
Cool.
It's the Blade HQ exclusive.
Nice.
And, you know, a lot of people are like, man, I don't like jade. It's like, well, if you want the M4 blade on the, you know, on the knife, it's like you could take these off and make them any color you want.
Yeah, you could dye them. Yeah, that's the one thing I was gonna ask you just now. Is like, are you gonna keep it that way, or are you gonna dye
so
it?
Far, yeah. I was really like on this one. I was thinking about switching that clip out.
Yeah.
You know, as JT puts it, he's got a special name for this.
Yeah, that's the tick clip.
Yeah. It's got a whole like hashtag army behind it too. And so, you know, shout out to JT because he started the whole little army name on that. But I was gonna switch it out for like a mini deep carry or something like that. But honestly, it's been working really well, so I've just left it.
Wow, nice. I haven't. You know what's? How many knives do you think you have in your collection now? Like, are you selling off a lot or are you keeping a lot?
So probably over the last year, I've been keeping and acquiring a lot. And it hasn't proven well for other things I want to do. So
like live.
I'm like,
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, okay. And you know, I stopped counting my collection of knives after 300.
Oh, dude.
So
that's crazy.
You know, it's one of those things where, you know, you find deals on stuff, you find ones you like. So I'm really honing in right now on, you know, making a decision like, okay, you know, I have a whole lot of bug outs. You've probably seen that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm very well committed on the 940 Osborne and the 535 series of the bug outs from Benchmade. But there's a few others that I've started to collect some of those. And I'm like, I think I need to just cut bait on those, you know? So I think, you know, I'm kind of doing a thing where, you know, members on my channel will get an opportunity first to basically view what I'm going to put up for sale. And so I've been kind of adding a few things to that. And then over the last week, I've kind of really made a decision on a couple models that I think I'm just going to pare down and be like, hey, here's all these for sale. And, you know, I'm going to sell them at a good deal to people. Obviously, you know, I'm going to include the shipping because I want to make sure they get priority shipping on them. But
yeah.
Have
you had some problems with shipping recently? Because I remember around Christmas time, shipping was crazy, dude. Like I
only had one big problem, and it was actually getting this knife right here. And I have to say, you know, a lot of stuff was delayed, but that's just a no-brainer because of everything going on and with the holidays and whatnot. But with this knife, it was an exclusive for Blade HQ. They shipped it from a different warehouse than normal.
Mm-hmm.
They shipped it from an East Coast warehouse.
Yeah.
And, which normally they're out of Utah. So it basically, I got the update for the tracking, and it showed that they printed the label and it was waiting for pickup.
Mm-hmm.
A little over 2 weeks later, no updates, still printed, waiting for pickup. And so, I did the normal thing where I inquired with Blade HQ, and I'm like, hey, and they were super friendly. They're like, yeah, let us check, blah, blah. They're like, that stuff all went out.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't have any of it in our warehouse anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, at least it's on its way. And I have to tell you, I know there's been some people that have had some negative experiences, but I actually had a really positive experience with Blade HQ.
Yeah.
And they refunded me the money for the knife.
Oh, snap. And then
they're like, well, yeah. And then literally it was really weird because they refunded me the money, and like a couple days later, it just showed up.
Yeah.
No updated scans, no nothing. And so, doing the right thing, I reached back out to them. I'm like, hey, I want to pay for my knife. Like, you know what I mean? And they're like, no, you don't have to. Like, we've already refunded it. And I'm like, I will feel good knowing that I paid for this. And it was no skin off anything. They were like, it was a problem. Yeah. We're going to take the loss. No big deal. But in my mind, it's like they fulfilled their duties,
mm-hmm.
So I paid for it, and I'm like, it makes me feel better that way.
Wow.
So it was a really good experience. So that's why I really like it. And I have to tell that story because it's just one of those things that you don't hear too often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I wish I had stories like that with them, but I have no experience with them. They don't ship to me. I'm just kidding.
Oh, serious?
No, they do not ship knives to me. I do, however, own 3 of their knife rolls, and I love them. So
oh yeah,
I love their knife rolls. I like the Spidey Pack ones too, but I don't have walls to hang them on. And when you get those things filled up with knives and you have like 2 of them, bringing them around is just not, it's not practical. Yeah, I got the blue one right here. I have 3 of them. Totally. I have the green one too.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I had the but the thing is like I've tried to order from them before, and then they say they just don't ship to NYC.
No kidding.
Yeah, I talked to Kyle from Blade HQ, the Cougar dude.
Cougar Kyle, yeah,
Cougar Kyle, and he was like, yeah, we just don't ship to New York City or like Canada even. I was like, dang, all right.
Wow.
Yeah, they just don't. That's just like a thing.
I could see like if it was a restricted thing, like, hey, we don't ship autos or something.
I'm just gonna go on like the conspiracy dark web here and think that maybe they used to ship here, and then something happened like years and years ago, like before all the knife laws changed, and maybe that's why they decided not to. But right now,
Weird.
it's like folders are illegal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but it's not just Blade HQ. GP Knives, Knife Center, Blade HQ, they don't ship here.
Really?
Yeah, so I got to do Smoky Mountain Knife Works, White Mountain Knives. Both of you guys hit me up, sponsor me. I'll do the promo code.
yeah. Hey, but, Southern Edge, man.
Southern Edge. I'm gonna try them, and I haven't tried River's Edge cutlery yet either. Like those kind of like a decent size online retailers, but nothing like Blade HQ, who's like the massive one, right?
Yeah.
Like usually those guys ship to me.
Well, dude, if you want any of the HQ exclusives,
yeah,
let me know, man.
Dude, I have not bought like these 3 knife rolls right here are filled, and like none of them are my knives. Like none of them.
Oh, really?
Which is crazy because I basically survived on Knife YouTube from just viewer donations and like pass rounds and loaners, which is kind of crazy to say. Yeah, and I just make content for it. I say my piece about it, and then I just pass them back off, or sometimes I get to keep them and then I'll use them for a giveaway. I don't know if you've seen this one. I've been showing this one off a lot. This was sent in by the Nick Shabazz. Ever heard of him? No, I'm just kidding.
Uncle Nick, yeah.
So this is the Winter Blade Co. Factor. You deploy it by pressing this down.
Whoa.
And the detent is magnetic.
No kidding.
Yeah, so the locking mechanism is on the back. You push it down and this little latch comes off, but also you feel that magnet and then it just drops down. So there's a magnet up here and up here. Pretty crazy.
That's a really new design.
Yeah, the guy hasn't even put him really into production yet. Like when I did one of those musical Instagram reels that I've been doing, the guy hit me up. Winter Blade Co. I forgot, Jason Winter, I want to say is his name. He was like, "Oh shit, I like how you I like the content that you make," and then he just gave me the specs on the knife and stuff. And like, yeah, I've really been surviving just on that. And I feel very fortunate that I've gotten that, because I am so broke, bro. Like I can't buy anything. You know what I mean? So
dude, let me know, man, if there's anything that you ever see.
Yeah.
Especially on Instagram, just shoot me a message, be like, bro, put that in the mail.
Yo, speaking of put that in the mail, hold on a second. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Here it is.
This is my bag that I carry every day. There's the Zach Stuff patch. I bought extra mole straps so that I could put it on. It's awesome, man. Like, I love carrying this. I'm still waiting for the day that another night person in New York City like comes up to me and it's like, "Bro, you like Benchmade?" Because there's a Benchmade patch on that. Nah, yeah. No one yet, man. People just think I'm the weird, like, kind of Asian army kid on the train. I didn't even serve, man. I just like knives. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what they think, you know, like the way I dress and stuff, the way, you know, this kind of stuff I carry. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing in podcasting. Let's go back to your channel for a second. I looked through your videos and I noticed you've been doing like a ton of lives. Has that like been the focus like lately?
Well, the last 2 weeks. So I try to do a live every Sunday, noon Pacific.
Yeah.
That's kind of just what's worked out for my schedule. I have 2 jobs. I have a full-time job and a part-time job. Mm-hmm. The part-time job kind of pays for my collection and channel and all that good stuff. So I work about 6 days a week usually. Mm-hmm. And so Sunday works the best. And it's not the best time because it's kind of middle of the day, afternoon for East Coast and whatnot, but get a good turnout. You know, we're getting over 100 people, 125 people, you know, on the live stream.
That's clean.
And that's nice. Yeah. So it's good. But here's the problem. Sometime in the last 3 weeks, the YouTube app for my phone had an update. Mm-hmm. So of course you do the updates. You want to stay current on it, but it allows phone calls to now interrupt your live streams.
No.
And it completely boots you off on my end, you know, on the streamer end.
Oh, dude.
So the chat recovers, but the stream itself and the camera does not. Oh. So I have to literally stop it, mm-hmm. literally force close the app, relaunch it, quickly set up a new live. So I've had like double lives the last 2 weeks. So nothing more than normal. Like every week is kind of my normal, you know, streaming.
The only thing I can think of for you to do, if you don't care about missing those phone calls, is to pull your SIM card out and then do the live, because you won't need it because you're on Wi-Fi anyway. Yeah,
and so I've been shutting my cell radio off and doing that so I don't get phone calls now. But it was just the weirdest thing because, I mean, I've live streamed for the last year and a half and no troubles. And then all of a sudden that update comes and bam, it's now a problem. Damn, so I did my due diligence, set my feedback in, you know, hey, here's the problem I'm experiencing. No response, of course, because, you know, I'm, you know, a speck on the world spectrum, you know, but so, so put out some new stickers. These are the holographic ones.
Nice.
For the DSKFS. Mm-hmm. Do something kind for someone. I'm going to send you, I got patches coming for this.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
So as soon as they come in, I'll send you a new one with some stickers and a patch.
That's awesome. Do something kind for someone. That's so cool, man.
Yeah. So I've kind of just adopted that and really made it, you know, it was something I closed all my videos with from a long time ago. And so I've just kind of adopted it. And it's like, truly just takes a moment for you to think about something and changes your mind in just a moment, because you sit there and in a moment's notice, you look and you go, oh, I could actually go hold that door for somebody, or I could go help them bring that in, or, you know, and it's just little things like that really, it'll change the other person's, you know, total attitude on, that was really nice of them, you know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be monetary.
Yep. For sure. That's an awesome thing, man. You know, with me, it's like there's a lot of panhandling going on the train, right?
Oh, I bet.
So it's gotten really tough because some of the people like look really sad and stuff. Some people look really sketchy, like they're fighting the air and like asking for money. They'll get in your face. But you know, the people that I tend to give money to are the people that have like a shtick, you know, whether it's like a person that like sings really well or a magician or something, right? Like doing cool stuff,
Yeah.
and things like that. But there was a couple one time they were selling like pharmacy type goods like toothpaste, shampoo, you know, women's
Nice.
makeup on the train, and like I didn't need anything, but like I just gave them $1, and they were like, "Oh, what do you want?" I was like, "No, I appreciate the hustle, you know, that you guys are trying to, you
Yeah.
know, make money." And like I just want to help you out, and they were like, "Oh, thank you," you know. And that to me like feels really good. But I appreciate that they're working hard, not just like asking for a handout, because I really
Yeah.
don't like that. I just don't. I know some people really need the help, but you know, you could do things like what these other people are doing to kind of, you know what I mean?
Well,
If kids can sell like candy bars on the train, like as an adult, you could figure like something out, you know?
yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, you could be like, hey, I'm on my way to work and shoot, I really needed some floss today.
Yeah, yeah,
You
dude.
know what I mean?
Dude, a lot of people are buying the stuff because they're on their way home. Then they probably remembered, like, oh shit, I don't have toothpaste right now.
Yeah.
But you know, fucking have some Colgate,
Yeah.
like
Well,
coming out.
you know, you think about it, like that's kind of how like travel sales stuff worked
Mm-hmm.
back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, like people came around and are like, hey, you know, because products weren't readily available to be shipped to your house the next day.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly,
so it's
dude.
like, you know, you would find somebody that would buy a whole mess of stuff and just start, you know, knocking on doors, be like, hey, you need this? I got
Yep.
some. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. And like people would sell vacuum cleaners and shit like back in the day. People would do all the sorts of crazy stuff. Oh, the encyclopedias, yo. Did you ever have people go door to door trying to sell you that?
When I was a kid, I remember that my parents had this ginormous set.
Yeah, me
And I
too.
remember like, you know, like the actual memory of somebody actually being there and like sitting down, and it was a whole deal, a whole spiel, you know, like adult business kind of stuff. But it was
Mm-hmm.
like, and then all of a sudden all these boxes got shipped, you know, and it's like the big thing. And it's like, but then you're using them for your school reports.
Yeah, I was too. I was
Yeah.
too.
And so I'm like, okay. And then of course, you know, pretty much by the time I was graduating and stuff, it was like the internet's out there
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
people are like sharing info, and then it's just exploded today. I mean,
Yeah.
you could basically ask a question to the mid or to the thin air,
Mm-hmm.
and your device will give you an answer.
Yeah, like literally you could learn anything, man. Like I learned I'm starting to get into like some photo editing now, and I learned how to edit videos pretty much on YouTube. What has your like content strategy have been like? Do you, because I know you've been doing a lot of lives because that's what your schedule permits right now, but like are you still regularly trying to do like videos?
Yeah, so I've been trying to do like well, not put them out on the channel, but trying to film 3 videos a week in addition to my live. Mainly to get caught up because I have a lot of knives that have,
Mm-hmm.
you know, ones I've purchased, ones that have come in through a pass around. There's a couple things that, you know, manufacturers have sent me to review and then do a giveaway. So I just want to make sure those are all up and out there and really get the content out. But then there's fun ones, you know, there's ones like I don't know if you've seen the one of my original ones with this bug out right here.
Nice.
Was how to break the bug out.
Ooh.
Like, you know, can I break this? So when this bug out originally came out, I bought this one, and one of the guys at the factory was like, dude, you should put a Thor's hammer on it if you're gonna do all these crazy tests, you know, just so one, it's very visual because that way you know it's the same knife. And then 2, it's kind of, you know,
Yeah, it's badass,
thing.
you know? It's
Yeah,
like
it's kind of its thing.
Mjolnir.
Right? Yeah. And then what I did is I used this and I gave it away. It was the giveaway at the very end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I was dropping this off 2-story building, running it over with the truck, you know, pounding it through stuff with, you know, with a sledge and all that. And I'm like, and it took tons of abuse, and it only ended up with like a chip on the tip, so that had to be reground. So Benchmade did that as part of the Life Sharp. They did a tune-up on it. The thumb studs got a little scarred. There's a couple little areas of the plastic that got chipped off from some of the things. I stabbed myself with it right here. Opening a paint can, it slipped off and went shunk, right into my hand. But after the person that won this, I reached out to him, 6 months later, and I'm like, hey, because they were asking me about a different bug out.
Yeah.
I said, how about we do a trade? You're looking at this other bug out that came out. It was one of the all black ones. And I said, why don't I get that one and send it to you, and you send me this one back, because I'd love to have this just for the channel.
Yeah, because it's got some memory in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and they were like, that sounds awesome. So
that's amazing.
I have the mini bug out video done, and I'm just finishing some editing, and that one's an interesting video as well. But it's going through a bunch of torture tests, but it's the pocket size version. I used the orange one that's this size. So be interesting to see how the small one holds up compared to the big one.
So, like how you have so many different versions of Benchmade models, right? Do they feel different? I'm not, not, I don't mean in use. I mean, maybe in action and like in the hand, like.
Now, do you mean like between,
like those two 940s, they're the same model, but just different versions, right?
Correct.
Yeah. What I mean is, like, do they feel
and
different?
Like here's a titanium version.
Oh, I'm sure that feels different. Knife. I am sure that feels different.
Yeah. So what it comes down to, really, for me, I notice in cutting, I'll notice the steel a little bit between.
Yeah, of course.
A satin or stonewash knife compared to, you'll get some drag on this depending on what you're cutting on a coated blade.
Yep.
So I've noticed that a bit. But then the scale material is what really makes it. The titanium's heavier, more solid. The G10's solid but lighter. Carbon fiber's even lighter than that.
Yeah.
So I really noticed that. And then this one came with the mini deep carry on it.
Wow.
So it obviously rides different in the pocket. And of course, this is one of the models that I try to collect them, as much as I can. But these go back 20 years.
What about the action?
Now, when you get into like the titanium, it feels so much more solid of a knife than if you're using one that's G10, or even the others that are aluminum.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It really depends on what you feel like. Even this one, like right now, it's cold to the touch because that metal picks up, that room temperature until you start using it. But action wise, man, it's night and day difference on the titanium versus any of the other ones.
Yeah, I've heard that the titanium one feels really, really classy. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's a winner. Totally in comparison.
Are you familiar with the game I've been playing with my guests?
A game? Ooh.
Yes.
I've seen a few of the videos.
Okay, so this is a game where basically I ask, it's a game called Are You Garbage? Have you heard of this game?
I have not.
Okay, so Are You Garbage is a podcast done by H. Foley and Kevin James Ryan. They are comedians from Philly. They're very funny, and it's basically an excuse to ask your guests some questions about how they grew up, to get to know them and go down memory lane, kind of like a trip of nostalgia with a guest. It's very funny. I'm going to ask you questions like, have you ever owned a Chia pet and things like that. It's just hilarious. Do you want to play? Do you want to play?
I'm game, man. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Because I knew you were going to play. Every single guest has played so far. I've had Kelly on, of course. I also played it. I am 100% garbage, by the way. My mom is a classy lady. But growing up, like, she had to cut corners because she was a single mom raising 4 kids. But she is super classy. But, when you have 4 hungry sharks like me, you need to cut a couple of corners, especially immigrating from another country. And as I left home, I became even trashier, bro.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but the thing is like, Your financial status or your social status does not determine whether you're classy or garbage. This is all in fun, by the way. And the example I always give is like, I worked for this person that had over $100 million in their bank account, and they were using earbuds, the kind you put in your ear. And when they took it out, there was wax all over it. Like, that's absolute garbage. They don't clean their ears, you know? But, you know, let's find out a little bit like about how you grew up. Did you grow up with money?
You know, I would say we were okay.
Like middle class?
You know, what's that?
Like middle class?
I would say probably middle class.
Like I mean, there's 3 tiers in middle. There's like lower, there's middle class, and there's upper middle class. Like Backpack B, for example, is upper middle class. He grew up with money. They had a lake house. They did all this stuff. You would say, like, are you in the lower or middle spectrum, or you had a lot of money?
I would say we're probably low to middle.
Yeah.
Growing up, cool. You know, it was one of those things where, you know, I think family wise, you know, the like grandparents were okay. You know, they were middle class, they were okay. But, you know, I remember stuff of like my uncle bringing, you know, government cheese over, you know, that he got. And we were making toast cheese sandwiches with it when I was growing up, you know. So I know my parents didn't share a lot of that growing up. You know, I think they kept a lot of the finances, you know, separate from the kids. Yeah. You know, but I think we were okay. I think, you know, it was one of those things where, you know, they worked hard to make sure that we got things. We didn't have really, really nice things, you know, but we, you know, had to take care of what we had.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That sounds like a very loving childhood. Growing up, did you have a glass of milk with dinner?
Yes.
Ew, that is trash, Zach. How do you do it now?
I know. The only thing. So since I left home and lived on my own, milk was basically something for cereal.
Cool.
And then the only thing I would use it for that still like is in, you know, embedded in my brain as like a, you know, peanut butter and jelly kind of thing is
that's classy.
Is like that. If you have milk, you have cookies.
Yeah, that's Americana right there, Zach.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But growing up, it was like the thing to have. Like with dinner, you had milk. It was that we had 2 options. It was that or water.
So did you have like okay? So the reason why I asked this question and the situation I was in was I went over a friend's house. It was they were white. It was a white family. I went to a Catholic school, so there was a lot of like Italian Catholics, and they served spaghetti with a side of milk, bro.
Whoa!
And I thought it was gross.
Okay, yeah, and I can see that because like thinking back to when I was growing up, that would be the normal. You know, that would be the normal. Like you sit down for dinner and it's like, you know, it's poured with, you know, your food. You know, you got dished up. Here's your plate of food. You know, you have your main stuff. You have your spaghetti, your vegetables. Maybe there's a slice of bread. Yeah. And then you'd have a glass of milk.
Do you like that combination?
Now?
Yeah.
Now I'll either drink like a tea.
Yeah.
I'm into like iced tea myself.
Cool.
And so I'll drink like an iced tea with dinner, but mainly with dinner, the majority of the times is just water.
Good. Cool. I thought maybe like you know you were an animal and still liked red sauce with milk.
No, it's
yeah.
Even like you know, like I'm trying to think like you know, this has obviously been more than a year when I've been able to go out somewhere and sit down and dine, but
yeah.
I'm trying to think the last time we did like an Italian meal, sit down, and I think I had a mixed drink.
Nice. You know
dinner.
what? I think maybe aside from pizza, I ate at a place called Meatball, and they only make like really crazy meatballs, like specialized ones.
Oh,
and I can only picture like me asking for a glass of milk and I'll be like, what the hell? You know?
Now here's the thing. Okay. And I have to say this.
Okay.
Like it's been an option, a choice, you know, and obviously a choice I've made not to do that. But it would be something where I could eat a dinner
Mm-hmm.
And I could still drink probably half a glass of milk, no problem.
Yeah.
As long as it's ice cold.
I don't mind it. Yeah, as long as it's cold. I wouldn't want like warm milk. I mean, what am I, a cat? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's
hopping around all nibbly bibbly.
I know, right? Like look at it from the bowl. Have you ever owned a Chia pet?
I have only owned a Chia pet as a recipient of a white elephant gift.
Okay, that's fine because it was gifted to you. Do you remember which one it was?
It was like an animal. It was a
Stegosaurus
one? Sheep.
Oh, the sheep is the original. Yeah, maybe
I think that was the sheep one that I owned.
The sheep is the original. I've had Backpack B told me he still has the Bart Simpson one, and he never grew it out because Bart's hair is like, you know, like yellow and spiky, so he just like left it.
That's kind of cool though.
He still has it, dude.
Kind of retro.
Yeah. All right, that's funny. Do you keep bread in the freezer?
No.
Good, because that's the trashy answer, to keep it in the freezer because you're worried it's gonna spoil. And well, you know what? Like, what kind of bread do you have now? Do you have bread now?
Well, let me go back on that really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I do remember some time here 15, 20 years ago where, you know, we were, you know, taking some college classes. There was a few of the guys renting a house together. And I remember putting my bread in the fridge.
Okay. It keeps it
for the reason of extending its life.
That is the trashy answer, but that is true. That is what you would do. We've done that before. Now, when you put your bread away, do you twist tie it back up? Do you tie the knot? Or do you just like slide it under the bread and use the weight of the bread?
So I'm kind of OCD with that.
Okay.
So to answer the other question real quick, it was, so current bread we have in the house is we have regular, like, it's like you guys probably don't have Fran's bread, but like Wonder Bread, you know, the Wonder White bread. Mm-hmm. It's like the wheat version of that. And then we have the bread I really prefer is actually a more
like the whole wheat type stuff.
It's more an enhanced wheat.
Yeah,
you know,
it's got like the grains in it.
It's got some grains and some other stuff. You know, they make a couple different flavors that I like. They have a regular one, and they have one that has like, you know, bird seed in it or something. So it's like all right. But how I store it, I'm OCD. So what I do is I will, you know, grab the top of it.
Yeah.
And I'll grab the bread and I'll spin it.
Yeah.
So it's closed, and then I'll put the closing. We have those plastic tabs.
Oh yeah, they're like, it has teeth on it. It looks like a U almost, kind of.
Yeah.
Like
so
okay.
I'll put that back on it, and then once that's done, I'll tuck it and put it back on there.
Wow, dude. So that's pretty classy, actually. I respect that. That's pretty classy. I've definitely lost the twist tie or the little U-shaped thing.
Yeah.
And I've just twisted it and done a knot. I've also done the tuck under too, like when I'm running. So that I'm garbage.
And what I'm worried about on that is like, you know, we don't have them.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about the random bug.
Yeah, the random
bug. All of a sudden I'd open my bread up and it's like, oh, hey, how are you? You know,
dude. You know what's crazy is, you know how the Kelly. Shout out to Happy Go Sucky. Not about sex, it's about succulents. They're plants. She has all these plants around now, and then she was like, babe, man, I've got these mites, these plant mites. They're eating my plants, you know. She's like, I don't want to use like repellent or anything like that. Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna buy ladybugs and like let them live in my plant like areas. So every now and then I'll be like sleeping and there'll be like a ladybug on my arm. Like,
oh wow.
No, and like we don't kill them. Like they're not trying to hurt me. They're not harmful to us. So like I put them back in the little you know, enclosure.
Yeah.
So it's like I have like so many pets now.
Hey man.
Yeah.
You know,
they're killing the mites though.
If it keeps the mites away,
yeah.
Bring the ladybugs on, man. Mm-hmm. Your air's probably clean in there.
Much better, honestly. Much better in my apartment than outside.
Right.
Okay, so let's go to, do you have any tattoos?
I do.
Are any of them of your ex's name?
No way.
Okay, so you are classy. I am trash because I actually have my ex name on my right shoulder. It says Pamela on it. Kelly knows it's there, of course. She doesn't bother her. I got it when I was 19. It was the first time I was ever in love. First 4.5-year relationship. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You gotta go big, man.
Yeah, but that is trash.
Here's my question on that real quick.
Okay.
Have you made up a cool story about it?
No, I haven't. I wish that there was a story. I mean, what happened was, well, she has my name too. Like it says RAI, huge on her lower back with a phoenix around it, with a phoenix. I won. No, I'm kidding.
That's awesome.
Or we both lost. I mean,
yeah.
What kind of frozen pizza did you eat as a kid?
Frozen? It was the Totino's, man.
Oh, that's better than what I had.
They had that was like a luxury.
That was more expensive than Elio's.
Oh, okay, yeah. These were basically like round ones. They came in a real thin box.
And okay, I know what they are.
Yeah, they're about the size of like a plate, maybe.
Yeah,
you know, like a little bit smaller than a dinner plate.
Those
or whatever,
are good.
But they were like saran or like shrink wrapped, and then shoved in a little tiny box. You know,
and it's so like there's like a cardboard thing underneath it too, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And you look at it, and you're like, those little chunks on there, like little tiny pebbles, and you're like, is that really pepperoni on there? And you're like, sausage? Whatever, just put it in the oven.
Not too shabby though once it comes out. The top answer, the classiest answer is like DiGiorno or something like that. I had Elio's when we had the money or they were on sale. I had like a generic version of Elio's, which was basically the grocery brand of the frozen pizza. So that's the next question. What was your grocery store growing up? Like, where did your parents shop at?
The big one was Albertsons.
That's pretty classy.
So that's one that, and honestly, if you walk into an Albertsons today, it smells like seafood.
Yeah, you grew up with a little bit of money though, if you went to Albertsons back then. Because I went to like Key Food, and get this, Kelly went to a place known as Food Lion. That is the trashiest answer I've heard so far. Food Lion. I mean, what? Anything with an animal in it that's like a grocery store is not good.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Albertsons is pretty good, man. That's good.
But I'll tell you what, there was like, and it was probably this thick.
Yeah.
The coupons that were cut.
Wow.
By my mom.
Yeah.
She was all about like, and I think that's the only way we got by, you know, was literally, and I'm sure the cashiers hated it because it's like she literally had a coupon for almost everything in the cart, you know.
Yeah, I would always try to sneak in like fruit roll up, and then my mom is like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to sneak in, like, you know, but yeah, we couldn't have any of that stuff. What's crazy is like, what was your like? Did your mom like pack lunch for you as a kid, or did you eat cafeteria lunch? Like, what was that like?
It was a combination of both. You know, especially when I was a kid, it was a combination. A lot of the times, you know, we just had the lunch tickets.
Yeah. I remember that.
So we would go in and basically just, you know, it would get a hot lunch. And then I think, you know, like I said, nothing was ever shared. I can only look back and really think about it and think like what was going on. And mine was like half and half. So I thought processing it today, I can look at that and go, we probably couldn't afford it every day.
Yeah.
You know, so it was one of those like
ticket lunch. You mean the ticket lunch?
Yeah, like the hot lunch.
Or I think maybe this too. So in New York City, right? Some people only got covered for half lunch. Like you get a discount on the ticket.
Oh, that could have totally been.
Or you only get a certain amount of tickets. Same thing with like they used to have bus and train passes. Because you know, I was taking the train since I was in the 6th grade. Like in New York City. That's just what you do. But you get like a paper pass and you show it to the MTA attendant in the booth, and they'll like buzz you in. But some people, including my family, like we only got half, so we would have to pay a little bit. But some people get full discount. I think maybe that was that kind of thing. What kind of packed lunches did you get? Like a bologna sandwich and a Capri Sun or something, or like?
It was pretty basic, you know. My mom was really big on, you know, making sure it was a solid mix of what I wanted.
Wow, that's so cool,
right.
man.
Not. It wasn't what I wanted. It was a solid mix of like a basic sandwich, whether it was, you know, bologna or if it was peanut butter jelly, and then it was, you know, you're hoping you pop it open and there's, you know, crackers and cookies or something, and it's like you got carrots and, you know, applesauce, you know.
Wow. Did you ever get Lunchables?
You know, that's something that my mom and dad never bought for us.
I never got it, but other kids had it, and I never got. You know what was crazy? In the first grade, I remember this so clearly. I went to a Catholic school called St. Michael's in the first grade.
Okay.
That was the first school I went to in America. It's in New York, Brooklyn. And there was a kid that his parents, every like lunch time, like every day, they would come, they would drop off McDonald's, Zach.
Whoa.
Like French fries, chicken nuggets, like everything. And I'm like begging the kid to give me a fry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, yo, that's the privilege, man. That's the white privilege right there. Because I was just getting like peanut butter and jelly. Not even like I would just get the school lunch, you know, it would be like hot ravioli or like fillet of fish, you know, the school lunches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all I would get. But man, imagine McDonald's being dropped off to you. That was the cool kid in the first grade.
No, that's something that would never happen.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, like you would never see that. Like even the kids that were privileged, you would never see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I mean, I will say this, props to my parents because they always made sure we had like a really cool lunchbox.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I had I think it was called Dino Riders. It was the dinosaurs with like the rocket launchers on them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was the one that I had, the lunchbox that I had.
I had like Transformers and
oh,
He-Man.
Sick. Yes. Love
you know,
He-Man.
And of course, nowadays you're like, dude, that'd be sweet if I still had one of those.
Dude, if you had a vintage one, it's probably worth money right now.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I would rock it to work. You know,
just bringing it. Like this is my. You're like, what? It's like EDC dump of the week. You like open a lunchbox. It's like knives in it.
Dude, that's a good. I should go to Walmart and see if I can pick up a lunchbox now. That's a good idea.
That'd be so fun. That'd be cool for a giveaway. You like give the stuff in a lunchbox. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
People would like that. Let's see. Has anyone in your family gone to watch or have been involved in a monster truck show?
Oh, we used to go to them, man.
That's the truth. We're gonna put that file that away in the trash pile.
Dude, we used to go to them, man.
I bet it's fun.
Oh, it's an experience for sure.
Oh shit.
You know, but that was when like Bigfoot,
dude, Gravedigger
was like the top of the world, you know.
Remember Gravedigger? That was the other one? Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
But see, Gravedigger came up after Bigfoot.
Yeah, I remember.
Like
Bigfoot
they needed a challenger, and so they brought up, you know, the Gravedigger into play, and it's like, I remember. I mean, that was a memory though that I experienced going with like my dad. You know.
That's awesome. I remember I would see commercials about it, but I never went to one because I was in New York City and it was like Gravedigger and it's just like Bigfoot. It's like crushing all these cars and like the flamethrowers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So awesome. Let's see. What is your opinion of the McDonald's product known as the Filet-O-Fish?
Well, I can say that I've tried them.
Do you like them still now, or did you like them as a kid? Like,
no, I don't think we ever ate those as a kid.
Okay.
You know, I think it was probably the expense of it because it was more expensive than just getting like a Happy Meal.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's like $1 now.
Oh, I know. Now it's like, you know,
it's like insane.
Total reversal, you know. It's like used to be like $3.50 or something. But when I tried a few of them because, you know, as you get older, you're like, dude, I've never had that and it's been on the menu forever, you know. And I'm like, let's try that. And I'm like, to me, it was like, and maybe it was just the way that the store I went to cooked them, or the restaurant I went to cooked them, but it was like a soggy, crunchy fish burger, you know. And I'm like, the cheese was good, you know.
Yeah, that's a very difficult consistency to manage, man. Soggy and crusty. That's like...
yeah, and that's it had that like crusty shell.
Yeah.
But then everything, like the oil and everything, soaked in, I think, on the inside, and just it wasn't pretty. So it really ruined my taste for them.
So there you go. You actually we'll put that away into the fancy pile. I think so far you're kind of like even right now. That the Monster Truck Show one, you know, boosted you up.
Dude, I knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah, that was so funny. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and pretended it was your birthday to get free cake or dessert?
Let's see here.
That sounds like a great idea to me, man.
So as a kid or as an adult?
Both, whatever.
So as a kid growing up, that is like a big sin, right? It was like a big no-no, you know? But as an adult, now that I've been out on my own, there may have been a time or two where we're like,
nice.
You know, today's my birthday. Oh, nice. Yeah, you know?
That is awesome.
Mainly, maybe it was considered around some Mexican restaurants where they throw a hat on your head.
Yeah.
You know, sing a song, dance around, give you some free fried ice cream or something.
Or like nachos or something like that. You get the sombrero on you. That's awesome. I do that.
The sombrero's awesome, man. But then you start to think about, like, how many people have this sombrero been on?
I know, right? Yeah, but at that time you probably didn't care, you know?
No, it was usually associated with like a punch bowl of alcohol and fruit mixed together.
Nice. I'm all for that. So do you drink, Zach?
I do.
All right. Have you ever used the phrase "it's 5 o'clock somewhere" or "it's beer 30"? I
have not.
Oh, you're way classier than me, my friend.
Really. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it really centers around. I don't drink beer.
Yeah, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere is anything. Could be anything.
Yeah, true, totally. And I think part of that is, for so long I've had multiple jobs. It's hard for me to, and one of the jobs is on call, and so it's hard for me to be like, come home and crack something open. You know, I'm a whiskey drinker. Yeah, I love whiskey.
Me too.
But I don't drink very often, so it's like, you know, and I don't. I guess I don't come home and drink with dinner or anything like that. Maybe a couple times a month I'll have something to drink. Or if I'm out with friends, like before all this craziness happened, I'd find myself drinking like a cider when they're drinking beer, because I've you know, the cider is fine. The only beer I've ever had that I've liked, I've been told doesn't really classify as a beer, but it was a honey mead beer.
Yeah, I think it's a beer.
They said, oh, that's too, you know, you gotta remember, dude, this is out here in Oregon where everybody's like, you know, beer snobbing out here big time.
Oh, like IPAs, like the local brewery.
Oh yeah, dude, there's a brewery like every block, you know. Everybody's got some new brew, and it's great. And I have friends that like do amazing like home brews. Yeah. And I have to give a shout out to my one buddy, John. He's all about everything that he makes, his wife makes, anything he gets a hold of, he's like, dude, you got to try it. And he knows I don't like beer, but he's always like, he's waiting for that one moment where I find something. I'm like, that's pretty good. You know?
I used to love beer, but it's too many calories, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, it can sneak up quick. You know, I mean, that's what
up quick for me.
You know, he works out every day. Yeah. Just because of the fact that he enjoys his beer every once in a while, but two, you know, he's got to taste his stuff. You know, when he's homebrewing stuff, he's got to make sure it's dialed in right. Yeah. And of course, while you're doing that, you got to enjoy a beverage, you know? And so he said it's the most consistent way just to, you know, keep it off.
Yeah, I do the same. I am in a very like militant, rigorous workout and diet plan from the Kelly right now, dude. It's been working, you know, like I've never felt better or looked better, but it's like I have basically 4 ounces of protein, 1/3 cup of vegetables, and 1/4 cup of rice. I eat three of those a day. And then for at noon, I eat 3 eggs and 3 pieces of bacon. Nothing, no snacks, only water. The only other thing that I drink in Zach.
What's up, man?
Oh shit. Sorry. It canceled for some reason. Are we good?
I think we're good, man.
Okay.
You were talking about your crazy militant.
Yeah. Just militant, bro. 4 ounces of protein, 1/3 cup of vegetables, 1/4 cup of rice. I have 3 of those kind of meals in one day. And then at noontime, it's my first meal. I have 3 eggs and 3 pieces of turkey bacon. And I don't eat later than 7 p.m. And I don't eat until noon. So it's like strict. I'm getting shredded. I'm working out 6 days a week. But I basically have an eating disorder. That's what it is. I told Kelly, though, I was like, look, I want to look like I'm in the UFC. And she was like, okay, I can make that happen. We got to do this.
Dude, I would, and here's the deal, man.
Yeah.
Huge props to Kelly because, man, I seriously having somebody that could dial you in like that.
Yeah.
And then you having the just mental strength to do it. Like I went through a deal here a few years back where I just got sickly religious with everything I was inputting into my body, exercise routines, all that. And I dropped like 95 pounds.
You drop weight quick too. The first week, 2 weeks, it's like you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and so that really inspired me to keep going, and so I hit it for like almost 2 years, and I dropped all that weight. I was feeling great, and then something happened. I'm like, shit, there's a bag of Oreos.
That's living to me, though. You know, I'm not gonna maintain this. I told her I'll do it for a month. Because I'm basically having no cheat days either for this entire month.
Oh, wow.
I feel great though.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm not craving anything. That's what happens when you eat clean. You don't crave anything. I don't want to eat the chips. I in my brain I do, but physically I don't anymore. And then but after this month, I think I'm gonna like just pig out on Sunday, like eat whatever I want. Because
so what's your go-to?
If I was gonna snack on some,
like if you're like, okay, Sunday lunch, it's open for whatever. What's your go-to?
Before the diet, every Sunday it was like clockwork, bro. It was like on Sunday was the day I spend with the Kelly. I don't schedule any podcasts usually that day. No creating content, nothing. I usually try not to post, so it's all just hanging out with her. And like clockwork, she will have Shake Shack delivered to our apartment, and I'll have a jalapeno cheeseburger double stacked with cheese fries, and then she'll have like a burger and fries, and we get the cheese dip too from Shake Shack. So that's pretty much how we've been cheating. I don't know what we're gonna do. Apparently, she wants to do a cheat day this Sunday, which is pretty much the first time we're gonna eat anything because she's doing the diet too, even more strictly.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she's dropped a lot of weight too because she gained a lot of weight when she had the foot surgery. So
okay.
Yeah, we're both going crazy. She bought a Peloton bike, like it's coming soon. We have weights.
Dude, so you guys have a Shake Shack out there?
Yeah, we have a Shake Shack out here. It's delivered by Uber Eats. That's what we get it from. Yeah, we don't go to it. In New York City, restaurants are open and you could dine outside, but it's fucking freezing outside. So
yeah, right.
No, but here's the crazy thing. All right, here's how kooky the state of the city is right now. So what the restaurants have done is basically use their money to create another outdoor establishment.
Yeah.
They are outside of the restaurant, but they are basically heated inside. Like you go in, you're comfortable. Some of the big restaurants have that, or some of the restaurants have figured it out. And some of them just have literally a shed and you're like eating tacos like frozen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's how New York City has been in trying to survive, I guess. But I think they're gonna, from what I've heard, they're gonna open up again because it's like,
that's good.
How are we gonna come back from it? You know what I mean? Especially now, the restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, the outdoor stuff. Did they allow them to have walls on it?
Yes, they are fucking.
Damn.
It's basically like imagine you had a house and you had a big yard, and then you built another house connecting to your house in the yard. Yeah. It's like that. So, yeah,
that's the craziest because here in Oregon right now, we have this great rule similar to that: outdoor dining's allowed, indoor not.
Yeah,
you can walk in and get your takeout and leave, but you have to have. You could build an outdoor structure on your restaurant or whatever, get approval from the city, whatever. But 3 of the 4 walls have to be blank, empty, open. And it's like, dude, it's winter, it's like,
that's
and
tough.
so it's like,
that's
if you put one on the front, on the street side, the building counts as the second one.
Wow.
So it's like, so, you know, obviously outdoor fire pits, you know, some of those heaters, those things are being used a lot, but it's still like, I don't want to bundle up and wear gloves to go eat food.
It's like you try to eat a pizza with mittens on here.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'll drive down and pick up the pizza, drive it back to my house, and eat it in my living room, right? And watch TV, watch Netflix, you know, whatever. But
I've gone
crazy.
on dates with the Kelly. There was one time though, and I'm not gonna disclose the restaurant's name here, but we went to K-Town. So K-Town looks like this. Koreatown in New York City, in Manhattan, is basically just like 2 blocks, right? Okay. 2 city blocks. But for some reason, those 2 city blocks, you can no longer drive on them now because all the outdoor seating is lined outside.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, they're heated. They have 3 of the 4 walls. One of the walls is open for people to come in. They're heated. But like I went to this restaurant and, you know, the outdoor seating was full. And I was like, hey, how long is the wait? And she goes, hold on a second. And me and Carol like waiting. And then the girl comes out. She goes, would you like to eat inside? No one's inside. I was like, yo, we got to eat inside, bro. It was
nice.
Yeah, we had like Korean barbecue, you know, and stuff like that. It was pretty awesome to have that. But now it's even colder. There's no way I'm gonna try to eat outside.
No, I couldn't imagine that, especially where you guys are at. I mean, we're dipping into the 30s here.
Yeah.
Plus whatever you're getting with wind. You know, I was coming home from work the other night and I drove down one of the main streets of town and I was, you know, checking on all the craziness going on. And there's people literally like sitting, you know, these restaurants have put the table with the fire pit in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
They've literally put a bunch of those outside and there's people literally sitting there trying to eat. And I'm just like, I get it. You're trying to support, but like, could you not just get that to go and eat it in your car? Like, you know,
it's tough, man, because I really feel for them. You know, like I have, like my family has a small business. Unfortunately, A-List CBD has been allowed to stay open because we're a specialty grocer. We have packaged goods. And, you know, we've been able to stay open, which is why I'm working 6 days a week now. I'm immune to COVID now, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, just real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to A-List CBD, man.
Oh,
cool. I purchased some stuff from you guys before.
Nice.
And it works great.
Awesome.
So
we have some even crazier like stuff now that I've been using, and some people from the knife community have bought stuff from me and said the same thing. We're always refining our inventory and what we carry, especially we test everything ourselves. And you know, we've discovered like some products that are just so good now. It's definitely dialed in, like the inventory. So anything you need, topical creams, you need CBD oil, you need flour, whatever it is, we can ship 50 states. Just hit me up on the Instagram, A-List CBD. Let's ask you a few more Are You Garbage questions.
Right on.
You were having some fun with that. Were you a Hellman's or a Miracle Whip family?
So, interesting topic. Growing up, it was the regular mayonnaise.
Oh, is that like Hellman's?
So similar to Hellman's.
Okay. Because Miracle Whip is like the imitation stuff.
Well, we had Best Foods.
Best Foods.
So I don't, you know, who knows what kind of brand it was. We never we never bought the Hellman's, probably because it was too expensive. So we bought Best Foods. You know, so it was a notch or two down, but that similar mayonnaise that you call it. But I'll tell you what, it was a treat for me to go over to certain relatives or friends' house and actually get Miracle Whip.
Oh, Miracle Whip is kind of nasty, bro. That's the trash answer. You were almost out of it. My family, if I think back, you know what's crazy is we didn't make sandwiches all the time. My mom just, I don't know, she didn't believe in luncheon meat, I guess. I don't know. We did get sandwiches because like Oscar Mayer was like the cheap thing to get, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to feed 4 different versions of me. I'm hungry right now, dude. My mouth is watering right now. So my mom
thinking about that Oscar Mayer.
I know, I'm like some bologna, fried bologna sandwich right now. I'm in. But yeah, that's definitely the trashy answer there. What did you get on your SATs?
I don't remember.
Was it over 1,000?
I have no idea. I honestly don't even remember.
I also don't remember because I never took it. So I think.
Oh, really?
I
remember.
Yeah,
I remember literally like trying to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom being like, "You're not getting out of it. You're going to take it."
I had to take my GED, man. I didn't even get my high school diploma.
Hey, dude, hey, you know what, man?
It's equivalent. It's equivalent, hey, man. You know what I'm saying?
Surf or ski, either way, you're on the water, buddy.
That's hilarious. All right. Let's see. How do you cook your hot dogs?
Normally?
Yeah.
As a kid or now?
As a kid. Let's go with as a kid first.
As a kid, it was boiled.
All right. That's the lowest one. I think fried or grilled is the one that's upper. But however, I do like them boiled sometimes, especially in New York City now. Like a dirty water hot dog from like the little vendors. They taste so good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
And that's the thing, like I've had so many different styles growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or not growing up, but since I've grown up now into adulthood, I've had so many different styles.
Yeah.
Whether it be grilled, whether it be something that, you know, you're just getting from a vendor.
Mm-hmm.
They have, you know, we went to Vegas and they have this hot dog vendor, like a Chicago hot dog restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like every different imaginary hot. I'm like, I could eat there all week.
I have not had bread in like a month, man. My mouth is watering right now.
Oh, dude. What's your favorite kind of bread then?
If I had to choose, favorite,
like just a slice of bread.
It's like the grainy stuff that you were talking about. If it's like the bread that I have at home, you mean?
Yeah, I mean just like anything. Like if you're like, I mean, granted, you know, you could get a slice of bread from whatever, but if you had a choice, like for me, it's almost a toss up between.
If it's like a roll, then I'd have to. I like them like potato breads or like King's Hawaiian bread is like really good with everything.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like a slice, I really like I don't know I forgot the name of it because I haven't bought it in so long, but they have like oats and stuff on the crust and like it's kind of like weedy. That's what I like. They're expensive. It's pretty classy stuff.
Yeah, no, that's good. Mine would either be sourdough, like an actual, like, you know, heat up a loaf, you know, that you get, or what's really good that is like addictive is fresh French bread from a bakery.
Yes, I would. Anything fresh from a bakery is like the best.
You know, it's like we were having spaghetti one night here like a couple weeks ago, and you know, my wife's like, "Oh, I stopped by the store to pick up some French bread." I'm like, "Oh," she's like, "Will you cut it up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll cut it up." So I grab it, and it's in a wrapper, and it's still warm.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I'm like, I don't know how much is gonna make it after I cut it up.
Oh man, bonjour, oui, oui. I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Okay, so this is when you were younger. Have you ever thrown up in the bathroom, didn't tell anybody, and went back to the party? I'm gonna answer this before you. That's a yes on. That's a yes for me, dog. And I didn't tell anyone. I just went like, yeah.
So now I'm trying to think back, and I don't know if I can incriminate myself too much, but there was one party where I didn't make it back out of the bathroom.
So you definitely told everyone because they found you just like sprawled.
Well, it was the funniest part is my buddies came and knocked on the door. They're like,
"Yeah,
yo, man, you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." And they're like, "Okay." And like I didn't hear from them for like 2 hours.
You just stayed in there. Did anyone have to pee? Like,
well, there was other bathrooms in the house. But
I gotcha.
Yeah, it was just one of those things
Zach
where it's like,
in there.
Oh yeah, he's in there. He's good. Party on.
That's hilarious. All right, so we're gonna do a couple of more. Let's see. Did your mom use Cool Whip containers or other containers as storage for something else?
Bro, we had everything: cottage cheese, butter, yogurt, whatever.
What was in it? What was in it?
Like valuable.
Like, what'd you put in it? Like coins or something? Sewing supplies?
I used it for stuff like that, obviously for my stuff. But my mom, it's like it would be whatever. You know, it'd be like, you know, this one's full of buttons, and you know, you'd have a little butter container full of, you know, just random leftovers in the fridge. You know, it's oh, practical. we have five containers of butter. No, there's only one. Yeah. You know, this one is the tuna casserole from last night. That one's this. you know, all this other stuff. Cause it was reusable, you know, and why would you spend the extra money on Tupperware?
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what we did, but I would think that an aristocrat's family would not do that. So
oh no, dude.
File that away into the trash pile. All right, this is the bonus question right here. You're eating chicken wings and you realize you have to pee. You head to the bathroom. Do you A, wash your hands first, then pee? Or B, pee first, then wash your hands?
I'm OCD about that, man. I would wash my hands totally first.
Okay. So follow-up question. Do you wash your hands a second time after you pee?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. You know what, Zach? I think, Your Honor, I rest my case. No further questions. I think Zach is 65% classy, 35% trashy.
Nice. Yeah, right on.
Close to what Kelly had. You know, Kelly was a 60-40, I think. I think I'm like 95%. I was telling Carlos that I will drink coffee in the morning, black coffee, and I'll have some left in the cup. I'll leave it on the table, and sometimes I'll come home and it's still there, and I will drink that, and it's been there.
Oh, I can never do that. I can never do that.
Yeah, Carlos EDC was like, Ray, you're garbage. Laughing so hard. I do that today, dude. Kelly's like, what are you doing?
So it's totally an OCD thing. I don't know where I picked it up, but like, and maybe it's from being a kid and like, you know, seeing some crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. But I have a hard time, like, if you take a drink out of this tea, right? Mm-hmm. I'd never touch it. Oh,
so you don't like to share drinks?
Anything. And, you know, and it's
so
like
you knew about COVID as a kid. Like, you're like, no, bro.
I must have. I knew about something.
Wuhan.
But I think it was because of friends I had. Mm-hmm. There was only a couple of them that really, really topped the scale of like
the garbage meter.
Yeah, you see him drink something, you're like,
there's so much backwash in it.
Yeah, backwash, food, slobber coming out, dripping, you know, like connected between what they're drinking in their mouth, and you're like, I would never touch that.
You know what? That's crazy because like I played a lot of basketball as a kid. You know, I was doing full court games like all day long and stuff, and like very common to share drinks with your friends because, you know, drinks run out. You want to keep playing the game, and man, we would all get sick at the same time because we're sharing Gatorades and shit. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't share stuff. I would literally like wait and go drink out of the hose.
Yeah. Okay, dude, that's pretty.
I mean, that's a garbage question right there. Like, if you know the taste of hot rubber water in the summer, then you're garbage.
Hey man, you're all class in my book, Zach. Dude, it's always a pleasure having you on here. Where can people follow you? Instagram, Zach Stuff. Is it Z Stuff on Instagram?
No, so I changed it over just so it's easier. It's Zach's_stuff on Instagram.
Cool.
On YouTube, it's Zach Stuff.
Yep.
And you know,
Patreon or anything like that?
I don't do Patreon. I have channel memberships on my YouTube.
How does that work, by the way? Let's talk about that a little bit because I have no idea what it is. And
so channel memberships are actually a great way. You know, obviously, no matter what happens, whether it be ad revenue, people that donate to your live stream on super chats or channel memberships, YouTube's going to take, you know, a little bit for operation costs.
Yeah, YouTube wets their beak a little bit. So the biggest.
I mean, probably can't talk about the percentages, but they take enough to take care of their business, obviously.
Yeah.
But they provide so many useful tools, and memberships is one of those because I didn't want to start something that was on a different platform and have to put content into another platform. This literally gives you an option to create different, you know, like I have one tier right now. And basically it's a monthly subscription or a monthly membership. And you can basically pay, you know, $4.99 a month. You get extra content just for members. You get extra videos each month. That's stuff that I provide. Nice. Additionally, on live chats, on comments, on videos, you know, I have like the DSKFS logo in there. I have Zach Stuff. I have different little logos in there. I guess you could, you know, little icons that you can put in there in the comments. And so that's kind of cool too. And then when you're in the live stream on a live chat, or even when you leave a comment as a member, it shows that you're a member it has my little ZS next to their name.
Oh, snap.
So you kind of get that notoriety like, hey man, I'm in the club, I'm supporting the channel. And what that does, it helps you kind of build more of an established, like, hey, I know at least I'm going to get, $50 a month from my members after the YouTube cut. And that says, okay, I can ship out a few different things, or I can build up a couple months and buy a sweet knife for a giveaway, or, I could buy another round of stickers, or, so it's kind of a way to help support. You can also set different tiers. You could, set a tier at $5, one at 10, one at 25, one at 50 a month, but you have to have different things to offer those members,
of course.
Something above the next level. And right now, having 2 jobs, I don't have the available time to make those extra tiers. And I know there's people that have reached out and like, man, I'd love to support more, but there's no other tier options, and I'm like, I understand, and I don't want to make it just about what I receive out of it. I want to make sure to give something back for what they're doing to support my channel. So that's one of the things that I really looked at when I started the memberships up. And I know there's a few people that have it. I know there's a few people that have Patreon, and you could probably get some better, because I think you have your Patreon, right?
I have a Patreon, and we do an hour-long or more podcast each week, the Kelly and Me. So
dude,
I
love that, because I get that email. And it's that separate, because I support your Patreon, man.
Yeah. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much for that.
And it's one of those things where I as a supporter, I can look at it how people are looking at mine, because I can look at yours and go, man, that's extra content I'm getting.
Yeah.
And it's only because I'm supporting you. And honestly, I love those videos. You guys are so funny, especially looking at all the little videos and stuff on the internet and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like crazy. It's funny.
I'll have my headphones in. I'll just start laughing,
Yeah, because some of them can be pretty bad. It's not PG. Like
no. And so depending on the company I'm in, that's why I have my headphones in. But I'm like, I'll turn my headphones off, and I'm like, you gotta listen to this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, Kelly is really good at podcasting now, actually. Like I had her on the episode that I released today with Jadine Orb, who's this 16-year-old knife YouTuber. That shares a collection with her dad. But Kelly and I did a segment for 30 minutes where we played Artie Garbage, and I answered the questions. And Kelly's like really good, dude. You know what I mean? Like
you guys are both great at it.
I think we just vibe off each other's energy, and it like sucks because I would want to do a weekly podcast with her on the YouTube, but I feel like I would have to be a little bit more knife specific, in that part. If it's all right.
I can see that. A lot of people are tuning in for that reason.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. I guess I'm going to see the feedback for this episode, but people seem to like when we're together. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, it's really easy to talk to her. We've been doing, I think we're up to episode 22 this week. So we have not missed a week, and it's just fun now. It's just us like hanging out now. We drink, we, get loose and stuff. But yeah, man, thank you for always supporting us on there. And Zach Stuff, you are classy in my book, my friend.
Thank you.
Everyone, please follow Zach on Instagram, on YouTube. The links are going to be in the description. Become a member of, I got to go close for this, DSKFS. Do something kind for someone. Be a channel member. Get a little cool sticker. But this is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray, and Zach Stuff saying peace. I almost forgot my own outro.
Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.